Good morning, Stanton, and welcome back to Star Citizen Wednesdays. Today, in place of our tour series, we are going to go over trade routes and some tools that you can use, as was brought up in one of the suggested comments. So, to put it simply, trade routes are basically just taking commodities which you buy from these terminals at a low price and selling them where you can find it at a high price. Not everything can be sold at every location. Not every place has stuff to buy. Each Lagrange station, each TDD, actually TDDs don't even sell much. Each geoplanetary station, your Bajini, your Tresler and such, and even the gateways have commodity terminals that you can buy or sell stuff from. Usually the bigger stations, like your gateways, are where you go to buy the stuff and sell it up. And then you go to the smaller Lagrange stations and sell them off there. Basically supply and demand. Stuff comes in the gateway, and the Lagrange stations are usually ones in dire need of them. Or if it's a place like a mining facility, like we are currently at Mike 1 right now, they'll usually, have some output that they need sent somewhere else. One of the tools that I prefer, which I think is honestly the best one currently, is UEX. UEXcore.space. To the future idiot that's editing this video, please put that up in the top. But basically, you can go and look up the commodities, any commodities, see where it's selling at the best, see where the prices are. We'll check gold. Find the places that you can buy it from. And just remember that there are going to be a lot of people hitting up these places. So sometimes inventories are not always as filled. And you can go and find places where it can be sold to. And a lot of the times, good places to sell it at are going to be packed full. So if you get to a place, you come to the commodity terminal, go to the market, and you see, like this, it's about halfway filled. So it could take more. But if it gets to the point of being fully red when you try to sell it, it's not going to take anything. You could try leaving the inventory there and waiting. These terminals do refresh approximately every 10 real-world minutes. It is not exact. So you're going to look at 10 to 15 minute variance in the windows, as is the same with these. And we are already suffering because somebody has already been here. I want to pick up 32s. And I can't get crap. And that's not on screen because I still have UEX open. Yep, I screwed that up. But yeah, that is basically looking at the normal commodities. And then you can come over to routes under the trade drop-down. Pick your ship. We'll go with the raft because I don't feel like loading up a C2. Not that there's anything I can put in it. I'm staying in Stanton. I'll consider doing a Pyro one later. Now, a lot of these are going to show ground right now. Because that... Oh, where the hell is that? Yeah, that's over on Clippily. I've strayed away from going to ground locations, mainly because the ground elevators have had many issues in the past. So what I would do is go space. That way I can go station to station. As you see, the best payout is on Mike 1. But I show you over in game right now, because people have been doing the runs, it's a little shy. You gotta select the station. So I can pick up two 32s right now. Go back over there. And you'll see that Mic 1 is, you know, a good place to start from, but because it can go to so many places with price being cheap, a lot of people hit it up. Another one is construction material over at Crew 4, but even that has, you know, low supply. To the point of where the biggest container you can pick up is an 8, as you can see there. Mic 1, you can pick up 32s. So another option you have here is to say you only want to use 32 containers. And it'll limit your list a lot further. Now I could try to head over to Arc 3 and pick up this gold. Heading over to Arc 1. What is that, Wide Forest? Yeah, Wide Forest. But I'm not going to waste the time. This is just a brief overview. I'm not going to do a proper run. Oops, wrong button. So let's see. I want to start at Mic 1 because I'm already here. And meds are currently shit. I could do an astatine run. The payout's going to be ass, but that's because I'm using a raft. And with a raft, you only have the slots for 6 32s. So this will show you what you're going to pay to initially buy it. Your expected payout is going to be counted in your income. So as you can see, what is that? 1805 is what Magnus is going to pay for astatine. And you're purchasing at 1298, which right now is not exact, but these prices fluctuate as stuff goes on, as people make trades and such. So like on medical supplies, that's saying you're buying at 3184, even though UEX says that 3073. So these prices will fluctuate as, you know, traffic happens, as people go and buy stuff. So just to do a demonstration, I do not want that many. 6, thank you. So in game, you'll see that because we selected the 32s, it automatically changed the price per unit. 43,071 for a 32. $0.71 divided by 32 SCU comes out to $13.45. So if we look at the single, it's the same price. Ah, shit. All right. Now back to this. 6. All right. So yeah. Buying at 43,071, paying 258, 400. Now these are obviously going to be small payouts because I'm using a light freight ship, the Argo Raft. Because honestly, I don't feel like filling a C2 right now. I'll save that for like a stream or something. Probably should do a hauling stream. Alright. So, we'll pull up the raft. And that broke Dick. I do not like it when that happens. Unfortunately, 432 has brought about a good amount of bugs.
Welcome to the Ace vehicle. Please visit us again.
And as you can tell by that annoying ass sound, they brought back the elevator door noise. Really, really wish they just gotten rid of that. All right.
Welcome to the Ace vehicle. Please visit us.
There, that's better. Now, while our bird is coming up, we'll see if we can get the freight elevator to work as well. Two elevators working at once. It's a miracle. All right. So if I remember right, 32s we're going to go long ways. So we should go 6 deep. Hello. And I have to remember that they gave the max lift a fucking makeover. Still getting used to that. Am I all the way down? Yeah, I think it is. Okay. Three. God, that doesn't feel like it, but yeah, I think it is. One of the bad things about switching ships is you get so accustomed to the ones that you normally work with that other ships just feel alien. Come on, lift. Holy crap. Alright. So, once we get in flight, I'll go over UEX and trade routes a little more. No, I actually don't want top deck. I don't know why that goes to top deck as default. I don't think you can set lower. No, you can't set lower because it's variant. Alright, generators to power, engines to full.
Systems activating. Systems.
You are clear to launch.
Doors. Please. Alright, I'll eyeball it. I'll eyeball it then.
Shields
Nope, that's Terra. It's going to be on the opposite side
Thank you.
then.
And please visit again.
That should be Magnus. Gear up, disengaging VTOL, and en route.
landing gear.
Alright, so back to UEX. There are these little loops on the side. So if you wanted to do, you know, a roundabout, since we're doing an Astatine run, we could hit Magnus and then pick up these processed food crap and come back. And with a raft, you would theoretically get both in total for doing a looped run. You get some of these others, and you'll see you have an option, one or the other. What you will not see with that looping mechanism is actual routing. For that, you'd have to look and see what could you do. Let's say we'll do Mike 1 to her 5. Okay. What could I get out of her 5? Her 5, I could go over to Lively at Arc 2. So I do Mike 1 to her 5. That brings me 136. Do her 5 with methane, not meth, methane, at 110. So 2 stops. And you've got 110 plus 135. Math, come on. We're talking about 250 for a quick 2 stops, since it's a raft. I'm going to pretty much guarantee Arc 2 doesn't have anything coming out of it worth crap. Yeah. I know that by hand. So, instead, you could do the return for the 100. Mike 1, pick up your meds, then head out to her 5, and it should show in that loop. I think Terra has some decent ones. Trying to remember offhand what was the loop that used to be good. I think it's changed because prices have dropped. It used to be like Arc 5 to Crew 3 to Mike 1 to Terra. I think Terra was the starting point. Not Platinum Bay, admin. Because Platinum Bay on the gateway stations is where you can buy RMC at a very marked up price. Yeah, and Terra used to have massive supplies of meds, but with recent updates and changes and stuff going about, it doesn't have shit anymore. Arc 4, I think, had some good stuff. Nope. Yeah, things have changed a lot, but so there's no, guaranteed that this is always going to be a good run. So for the most part, you just got to find stuff that is going to usually have decent inventory. Like as we saw with Mike 1, meds are a hot item right now, so people are going to hit that up. And these stations don't have that much in terms of inventory. Arc 5, if I remember right, is more of a supply depot, so it does usually have large inventory space. The gateway stations have a significant amount, mainly because they're designed to handle whole series ships. So you go in there with a raft or a Taurus, you can usually fill up pretty easily. I will consider doing a whole variant of this for trade routes, but yeah, we have had significant issues in the past where cargo disappears from when you buy it to when you get to your whole ship. So if you've heard people in global chat screaming and crying about they've lost millions in cargo just disappearing, it's most likely because that. They try to load a whole sea with 4,000 SCU of a certain material as they're going from point A to point B, and when we get to the auto dock, it's not there. So yeah, I have not tried it with recent patches. It may work. I probably have to run whole A because I am not wasting the money on a whole C loadout. Because that is something to cry over. I mean, you're talking 4,000 SCU at what did we buy? 1,300? That's 4 mil straight down the drain. Just because the game glitched. Alright. It should be close. Gotta remember Magnus is out in the middle of nowhere, so server is running on an 8088. And there's honestly no plans for it anytime in the future because the Magnus system is expected after the 1.0. And we really don't even have a good date on 1.0 either. I don't care what anything might have been said at CitizenCon. Yeah. Gear down. Gauging VTOL.
Landing gear down.
Alright, so I'm gonna try to aim for one of the elevators. See if we can get off pretty well. And I'm still showing you EX. For those who missed it, we arrived at Magnus Gateway and are now currently landing.
Landing.
Powering off.
Systems off.
spray that. Okay. We'll take the easy way out. So, like any other cargo mission, grab containers, throw them to the elevator, which is really, really nice now. I can't believe they waited this long to fix the max lift. I'll have to pick that one in a bit. Honestly, I couldn't care less if they decide to actually start using the batteries as well. The fact that they gave us a tractor beam that is actually useful is insane. All right. You want to get in there? Thank you. And send everything down.
Welcome to the ASOP European Place.
Send our little toy off to sleep. Let's see it. Magnus. Fuck, where is it at Magnus? I think it's in the Galleria. Most of these commodity terminals are going to be in the Galleria. No, we want the lobby. Thank you. So yeah, trade routes, they vary from patch to patch. Their prices will fluctuate slightly from what you see on the sites. So, where am I? Magnus. Magnus is over here, not Terra. And yeah. They are risky because you are putting out your own money. So if you want the safer option, you will always have the hauling missions. If you run with a crew, you could usually find somebody who has decent hauling missions. And as you can see, people have been doing acetine runs. That looks like 353 is interesting. That might have been somebody with a C2. Can't think of anything be that big. So it was probably a C2 like half an hour ago. So, let's see. We are selling at 58,310, which will give us 34,9,800. Hey, that was about a 12-minute run. So 34,9,800 minus the initial cost of 25,8,400 brings it as 91K. So it's not amazing, but you know, that was a simple one shot. And we come over to UEX, check the Magnus. Remember, you want admin when you're going to the gateway stations. Their pricing said we would have gotten 97, but with everything that's varying, like this dude is probably dropping off something else. Most likely with Magnus, you're dropping off. Scrap is also another thing that people sell at Magnus, because Magnus will take scrap at a decent rate too. But yeah. So it was not exact, it was not perfect in the estimate, but that's just because prices fluctuated and varied. I think the purchase was a lot higher, but the sell, let's see, 58, 310 divided by 32. The sell was fractionally better, 1855 versus what this site says, or 1822. So, yeah, so that's a brief overview of trade routes. I will consider doing a whole series to show how that can work, if it actually works. Otherwise, I'll cry myself to sleep. And I'll consider doing a Stanton to Pyro or Pyro to Stanton. Because right now on UEX, we only have Stanton to Stanton. But if we were to look at Stanton to Pyro, nothing amazing. Of course, that's because I'm using a raft. If I were to say go with the C2, that means I'm going to be buying a lot, spending, a mil initially, and making about 400K. Plus there's return trips, which could be another 300K, so going Mic 1 to endgame, you're going through the gateway both ways. You might be talking 40 minutes for that run. But you also got to remember that your initial purchases, you're spending about a mil if you're using a C2. And you can also look the other way around. Starting in Pyro. Stims. That's 600K. It's not bad. Off of a mil investment. And then you make another 200 on the return trip. So you're almost making a mil. Going Gaslight to Arc 3. But you also have to take into account that some of these places may not always have full inventories. When they're not touched, yes, it'll be green like this. But considering this seems very profitable, a lot of people are going to probably be hitting these up. And you also got to be careful, because if people know these are profitable, you're going to have pirates to deal with. So that I will suggest doing at your own risk. I most likely will not do Gaslight, or actually, if I do it, it will be with the raft. I'm not loading up C2. I can afford to drop a mil for that, but I'm not going to put the effort. But yeah, that's trade routes. A brief, quick overview. So we are going to call it there. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.